What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the big thing. It's Thursday. Look, there's a lot of things to talk about. Oppenheimer got its first reactions. Barbie got some reactions. They're going head-to-head. Who's going to win that battle? There's a lot of stuff happened. At this point, I'll just say this. We were taping this on a Wednesday, even though we're airing it on Thursday, so we should have some more news about the SAG strike. Is it happening? Is it not? There's things that lend itself to that conversation, as well as the new Emmys. The Emmy nominations came out on Wednesday morning, and Roxy Stryer is here to talk about it. There's a few things that happened that I was like, wait a minute. I thought a lot of these nominations were stinky, to be honest. I just think that there was a lot of people that were left off, and Harrison Ford not nominated for Shrinking, you lost me. None of this is legit anymore. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about The Bear, because I'm about 8 episodes in now to The Bear season 2, and why I think it's the best show on television. And Roxy will talk about TV in general and what's going on and certain things that she's watching, certain things that you guys told her to watch, and did she do it? And then we'll talk about the Blue Beetle trailer, talk about the Ahsoka trailer, that and more on today's show. So if you haven't already, make sure you check us out on Spotify. We're on Spotify. We're on video on Spotify if you want to check us out over there. Apple Podcasts, Google, anywhere podcasts are found. Make sure you check that out. Head on over to the website, thekristianharloff.com. You can check out Shoes and Beef. You can check out the Capes and Cows comic book. You can do like the one-on-one sessions that we have, all that and more. You can check it out on the site. But, all right, it's me and Roxy Stryer on the show today. It's Big Thing. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's the Big Thing. It's me. It's the Dancing Roxy. It's us. How are you?
Stellar.
Is that true?
No.
No?
No, I have a case of the birthday blues.
Wait, your birthday today?
Well, they're watching this.
Tomorrow's your birthday. For when we're taping this. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I find out everything through social media.
Were you going to call it smotional?
Social media. I find everything out through the smosh.
Smotional media.
Are you using the threads?
Yep.
Do you like it?
I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I do. The problem is I use Twitter for one main reason, and it's news. Mm-hmm. Threads doesn't have that yet. So once it does, to me, I feel no need to be on Twitter. But
it seems like more pleasant on Threads somehow. How does that happen?
The trolls haven't come yet. They haven't come out of the darkness.
But they're there. I mean, they're on Instagram, so why aren't they showing up on Threads? I don't get it.
I just don't think they've downloaded it yet because they're Team Elon.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, they don't want to, they're not jumping ship.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, if you're at this point, the Elon stans are the ones that are super intense.
That won't leave.
Yeah, they're just like, he's the god, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's crazy because Mark Zuckerberg is such a schmuck.
Yeah,
the fact that
people are rooting for him.
It's just like, it's like, I guess the lesser of two evils.
I love that they want to box each other.
Yeah, I want that more than anything I've ever wanted in my whole life.
Do you know how many views people that would do?
Who would win?
Elon's kind of out of shape. I always thought that Robert from Late to the Party said it best. He looks like dying E.T. Like, did you ever see him when he was when he was out in the sun?
Yeah.
And he looked like what E.T. looked like when he was dying. Yeah, and he just looks out of shape.
Yeah.
I feel like Zuckerberg, even though dorky, would be faster, and I think he's younger too. He's way younger.
My brother was talking to me about this the other day.
Doesn't follow me on Twitter.
I kind of call him about that still. He was like, at the end of the day, I'm not out here saying Zuckerberg's great, but like, he does have a wife and kids who love him. Like, Elon's family can't stand him.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah, because Elon has a trans daughter who's disowned him. Like, Elon's family can't stand him.
I don't know
and so
about
my
this.
brother's like, I think that's...
It's amazing how much you know.
Yeah, it's just random knowledge.
You know about all this stuff.
But he's like, he doesn't have like that love in his life. So I don't know. That kind of makes him a little more dangerous. Like, in a fight, when you...
in a fight, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking... I don't know.
You never know.
Elon's he clearly doesn't give a crap about losing stuff, And so if you got nothing to lose or you feel like that, you're dangerous.
Well, they both would be able to hire the best kind of trainers.
Yeah.
So you don't know who they would hire to. I mean, yeah, it would be.
Oh, I want this so bad.
It would be the most watched fight maybe ever.
I'd watch it.
I would watch it too, and I don't like watching those celebrity fights and all that kind of crap. It's just to me it kind of degrades the fight game. I will say this though, and I've said this beforehand. When Logan Paul,
I knew you were going to say it.
But when Logan Paul and his brother got into it, it was like I always used to think. What's that?
Jake
Jake.
Paul,
When I used to think about celebrity boxing matches, and this guy wants to be a fighter, and this guy wants to be a fighter, I'm like, okay. What they did for boxing, they brought more notice to it, and they're both athletic, and they both can throw hands, and they both have done. And then I will say, I don't necessarily, all the stuff that Logan Paul had done in the past and all these things too. Not a fan of it, and a lot of things that he says sometimes, like I don't know, but I will never say that he's not an athlete, and I will never say that he didn't earn his spot in the WWE because.
Yeah, he works his butt off at that. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here like Logan Paul's the man, but at the same time, the people who are kind of
You have to.
His place there, I'm like, all right.
He's bouncing off the ropes with Ricochet. The guy's been wrestling for like 2 years.
Yeah,
and he's done stuff that it takes people decades to be able to do.
Yeah, it's rather impressive while also being somewhat annoying.
100%. But like I said, I will not say you can't just because you think someone's annoying or don't agree with you can't say they're not good at what they do. And I think that the Paul brothers actually brought a little bit more legitimacy to maybe if people are really athletic and they do some training that they could be good at these things, even if they were just coming from YouTube or whatever.
Full stop on that. However, obviously Elon and Mark are not going to bring this in.
No. And I'm just saying that they brought what they did do is that someone who was a massive boxing fan for a very long time, and then MMA kind of for a long time kind of scratched that itch for me because it did. I thought what Dana White and the UFC did was one of the biggest problems with boxing. And not to bore everybody, but basically boxing for a long time had all these promoters and all these ridiculous factions or what the hell organizations, WBA, IBF, WBC, all these different ones. It's like who's the champion over there and that champion's there and all the rankings, and it was so confusing. As where the UFC was just one organization. Here's the rankings, here's the champions, and the champion had to fight the number one contender, and it just was structured. So, and then the rules were different, and I always agreed with the fact that, like, as much as I love boxing, there's way more risk in boxing for head injuries. For sure, because not in bodily injuries in general, because you can get hurt any which way in MMA, but the goal in boxing is championship rounds, 12 rounds. I have to punch you in the head for the most part. You can hit in the body, but for the most part, I'm trying to hit you in the head for 3 minutes per round for 12 rounds. Again, for the most part. And where MMA, I could not hit you in the head once, and I could just work on. I could try to submit you. I could try, and there's a lot of head hitting for sure. Yeah, I'm telling you, that punching was great stuff. But anyway, my point is that what the Paul brothers did and other people did is that because of the social media influence and all those things, people started to watch, and they're very highly viewed.
Yeah, I'm super with you on that. It's like an interesting idea that more people could do that if they were the right type of people. Yeah,
look, it would be a disaster overall to watch the two of them do it, but like I would want to watch it.
Elon and Zuck.
And for people wondering, Brett was supposed to be here today, just couldn't make it. He had some prior engagements, so we were trying to figure out a time to do it. We just couldn't do it. How's everything going in the world of Roxy before we move on?
Oh, I met just on my way here. So did I tell you the baby with the drums moved out?
No.
The baby with the drum set moved out.
You love that.
The fucking girl across the hall is still there.
The fucking girl. Is she still fucking?
Yeah, I said it like that because I don't mean that fucking girl.
No.
It's the fucking girl.
She literally, what does she do? She fucks.
Yeah, she fucks. And this was amazing, Kristian. I can't believe it.
Is she a woman of the night?
I'm not sure exactly what she does.
It's possible.
Because she's a woman of the day, which is the confusing part.
Oh.
So I don't know really.
It happens during the day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, oftentimes. But maybe they're at work and leave. I don't know. But the other day, I texted my apartment. All of a sudden, my whole place is shaking.
Because of the fucking?
So I don't know what's going on. I don't hear anything, though. So I'm like, oh my God, we're in an earthquake. So I take to Twitter and we're not in an earthquake. And I was like, what is happening? And then it's shaking. And I'm like, whoa, my TV is moving, like the stuff in my bathroom. And I'm like, what is happening? So I text I think something's wrong with the apartment complex. So I'm on a thread. The fucking girl isn't on it. We don't include her on the thread.
Oh, okay.
So I text the other people on the thread. The drums kid isn't on it, and the fucking girl isn't on it. Right. Everybody else is on it because I like all of them.
You found everybody, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, are you guys feeling this right now? Is everybody else in a goddamn earthquake? And they were like, no. And then later on in the day, same thing. Yeah. So I start looking at our ring cam, and like, sure enough.
Reverse gangbang.
I don't know, but she's doing something in there.
She's doing something
there.
But it was on silent.
But it was silent now. Now, I don't know. That could be some, I don't know. But silent. And my whole place was shaking. And I was like, what
Have you ever met her?
Yes.
Do you like her?
So adorable.
Adorable.
She's adorable.
I don't know she thinks she's earned that word.
You know what she just did, though?
Uh-oh.
She's now put a mattress in her parking spot.
What's that? Is that the new spot?
I don't know. I'm like...
Voyeur?
Why is there a mattress?
Oh my God. Can you get her on the show?
I don't think so. Because of all the stuff I've said about her.
You put a mask on her.
Yeah, I know. But she's lovely. When I talk to her, it's like kind of annoying because I'm like, I want to hate you, but you're so nice. But I met the two people that moved in where the drum boy was.
And how are we looking there?
We're looking good.
Yeah?
We're looking good. I texted my landlord about it, and she said it's going to be 2 quiet, working professionals. So I was like, and then I met them today.
What kind of professionals? Like the fucking girl?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Professional.
Today, though, it was a guy and a girl.
Okay.
I think they're probably a couple. Mm-hmm. And they said, hello. And I said,
just like that?
Oh, hello.
Yeah. It's like
and
Truman Show
here.
style.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
pretty
listen.
stoked on it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on at least
you.
losing the drummer kid.
That was awful.
Yeah.
That
How long did
awful.
that go on?
Yeah, a year.
Whoa. Oh,
year.
so that's great. That's why you're in a good mood.
Oh, it's great news.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, legitimately great news. I have video on video of me just sitting there, like, banging my head against the wall.
Absolutely hilarious.
Because he did start. Now he stopped at 6 p.m. Like,
okay.
That's why I let it go. It's hard to say something.
What was louder, the drums or
no, the fucking.
Fucking is louder.
Way louder. Way loud until it's silent.
Do you think she knows how loud she is? Do you think she knows how thin the walls are?
The thing is, we all talk about it.
Okay.
So for her not to know would be like.
Think she gets off on it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think she probably does.
But there's a dog involved.
Explain.
I hear him so loud every time. I don't know whether he's watching, but it's like
he's cheering. He's cheering. Is he cheering?
I don't know.
I like this one. Maybe get rid of this guy.
She doesn't have a dog, so somebody's either bringing the dog. I've tried to look on the camera for the dog. Either one of those making dogs.
This is fascinating to me.
I know.
So the dog just shows up.
So
the dog's never there.
The person. So we're across the hall over.
So she might have a boyfriend.
But next to her, no, it's different dudes. And next to her is a different couple. So we text the most about it. I think it's a dog. They don't think it's a dog. It sounds like a dog to me.
Or could it be?
I don't know.
One of her noises.
It's so dog-like.
You got to get audio.
It's so dog-like. I have.
Of the dog?
Of what I think is the dog. Let me try to find this.
You have to.
I got to try to find this. Hold on. I don't know where I'm going to find it right now, but I've sent it to people.
Yeah, you've got it.
It's so rude of me.
Well, nobody knows who it is.
I think it sounds like the dog. Did I not play this for you? The one
you
that
played
I
me
think sounds
one,
like the dog?
not the dog. You played one before that we didn't know. I mean, it could be the same one, but you didn't mention a dog.
Oh, you want to hear the drumming one first?
Sure.
Okay,
the drumming one you've played before for sure, but stick it into the mic. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I have heard this one. It's fantastic. I love how into it he was.
It's so good. Where's the dog one? Okay.
How old is he? Like 4?
2.
2. That was adorable, though.
No, I know.
It's adorable.
It's like I'm pissed, but I gotta wait till it downloads and then I'll play
2 years old.
The dog one because
yeah, the dog one is.
Oh, okay. I think this is the dog. Wait, let's see.
Okay, let's see.
dog, right?
Something. Oh, who's that?
It's hard to tell.
What is going on in that apartment?
It's hard to tell. I think it's a dog, but they don't think it's a dog.
But there's like 3 different noises going on. There's
I know.
there's a and then there's someone else, and then there's whatever that
one
creature.
More time. Tell
Is
me
this
you don't hear the
is
dog.
I hear something. No. That one. What's the one in the background? What's that? That sounds like a kid. Yeah, I don't. That sounds like a dog.
It's a dog, right?
It sounds like a dog. It sounds like it. I can't say it doesn't sound like a dog, and that happens often.
That is from inside my apartment. That's the sound from inside.
That's what you
my
can get from your apartment. Who knows what it sounds like in their apartment?
I have no idea. I think it's gotta be a dog.
It's hilarious.
And the people next door swear they don't see the dog, and there's no dog in there. And I'm like,
What is it?
I don't know.
And you can't tell them, well, I recorded them.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know what to say. I mean,
Right.
it's so fucked up what I'm doing. But the thing is, nobody would ever know who it is. Like,
No,
I would
here?
never
No, they
out
would-
the
no, they
person.
would know who it is.
But it's just like it sounds like it sounds like multiple things going on
It doesn't
at once.
sound like she's really enjoying it.
Do you? But which one is she? I don't think that's her.
Well, who's
I
that?
think that's somebody else.
That's that. So wait, is she lesbian?
No, I think that's the dude.
You think that's a guy?
Yeah, I think it's the guy. And I think she's it. And the background one is her.
She's
I think.
the
I
other
think
one? What the fuck is going on over there? What would be so great and a great reveal of this whole story is if it's not even sex.
I know. Well, then part of me was like, oh, is it porn? Am I hearing porn? But it's not, because I see the people going on the camera. But the dog
Is she
thing,
shooting porn?
I don't. Good question.
This is an interesting turn of events. I have to be honest. I love your dating stories. I think I like this more.
It's good.
The dog is so interesting.
And the fact that they are telling me they don't hear the dog, but I hear
It's
that
something.
high pitch. It's something, man.
Yeah, it's
It's something. She did have a cat at one point, but that's not a cat
That's
sound.
not a cat. I don't know what that is. I mean, listen, there's got to be updates to this story.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of other things to talk about, even though I don't know if we should. Let's start. Well, you just right before we started yesterday on Big Thing. Mike, myself, and Steph. We had watched the Ahsoka trailer. We talked about it. Mike was in a mood yesterday.
Bad mood.
It wasn't a bad mood. It was just like he was.
But between you and me, it was a bad mood.
Was it?
I don't know.
Oh no, it wasn't a bad mood. It was just he was one of his moods where he was looking for some shit.
And he didn't like it.
He doesn't know because he feels like he was too left out of the loop and that he felt he was lost because he didn't know Rebels at all, and he felt like
It's Thrawn Rebels.
Thrawn is Rebels. So Thrawn comes from Timothy Zahn did a novel series back in I think it was like 1980. Was it early 90s? No, might have been in the 80s. He did a series of books called Heir to the Empire, and Thrawn first appeared there, and he was like the villain of the books. And it was really what Star Wars fans had because there was nothing else. There was these books, and they're very popular. So much so that Dave Filoni brought Thrawn into Rebels in season, I want to tell you either 2 or 3. It was
Okay.
2.
Sabine too.
Yes, Sabine's part. They're all. This is Rebels season 5. I mean, it clearly is.
Okay.
It clearly is.
So maybe Mike felt like that because Mike's not used to feeling like that with Star Wars. I feel like I always feel like that with
Like
Star
you're
Wars.
always kind of on the out a little bit.
Which is totally fine by
Right.
me because I know that I don't read all the things that are canon. I know I
Right.
don't watch any of the animated shows. So of course the people who do are going to get an elevated experience than
Mm-hmm.
me. It's not I'm on the outs enough that I'm confused.
Right.
It's just like, oh, that's Sabine and Thrawn are people I don't know.
Right, and you want to learn about.
I'm
so I guess
curious.
his thing was whether or not, if you didn't know them, are you going to be invested? And I said, well, that's their job to get you invested in the live action characters, right? So, you told me you thought.
So
you
here's
had
what
an
I
idea.
here's
Yeah,
what
go
I
ahead.
think is happening. Well, Ahsoka I know now, which is
Right,
good.
from Mandalorian
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
at least I have
Yeah.
knowledge of her. I don't know anything really about the like all of the references to Anakin training her and her not
right.
wanting to talk about her past and what happened in her past and stuff. That's a TV show though.
Right.
I'll figure that out. And obviously she has history as Sabine. She's got a team back up with her to eliminate Thrawn.
Yeah. So you're less confused than Mike.
That's what I gathered from that. And then also they kept dropping the theme, right? Like it's not easy to be a Jedi. We have to be the good ones. You have to make the tough decisions. So I'm assuming they're going to be put in some really challenging positions while trying to do what's best for the greater good.
Yeah. And so the way that the series ended was like it took place, this little scene that took place like right after Jedi, and it was that leads up to the events in this, and it's basically Sabine teaming up with Ahsoka. She's got the short hair at this point, and then they go off to find their friend and Thrawn. So that's the very last thing that you see in Rebels season 4, I believe it was. So it is clearly like Rebels fans are going to lose their minds, right? It's clearly the live action season 5 of Rebels.
Cool.
Right now, the question is, and I'm sure Filoni is very aware of this. You have to get the people who are not going to watch the series. You're going to get some people that go, "Oh, I want to watch the series now and check out the series, so I know what's going on."
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to do that. So you fall into one of these two categories, and I think I know which one it is. It's either category 1. I think I got it. If they can get me on board to where I go, oh, that must have happened in the show, but they've invested me enough so far and told me what I need to know for this, so I'm just going to take it as they have a backstory. If I choose to look at that's real. And then there's other people going, I'm not watching this. I'm going to be too lost. I'm not watching the show. I'm out. And I think you're obviously in category A.
Yeah, well, just because first of all, I trust that Filoni is going to understand that at least half the people probably haven't seen Rebels.
Right.
So I think he's going to make it so that I care about them. And if he doesn't, then he didn't do his job, and then I won't watch it.
Right.
But I'm going to give it a shot. And as long as I like the characters and I'm not like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Then who cares?
Yeah, I don't think. I think that's where Mike believes it's going to go, but I don't think it's going to be as confusing. I just think that it's, like I said, it's one of those things where if you did get invested in it and you did watch Rebels, it's going to mean more to you, right? But
so you liked the trailer?
I did like the trailer.
Did Steph like the trailer?
She loved it. Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, and she's a massive Rebels fan. So
yeah.
So
but Ahsoka looks really good.
It looks great. Yeah, and I think
I'm saying she I think she looks really cool.
She does. Yeah, and so I'm excited. It looks, the main thing that Steph and I both said is compared to like the last season, like Mandalorian. This seems to have a clear-cut story, and they know what they want to do hopefully from A to Z.
What's Sabine's
story?
Yeah.
So she was a Mandalorian that was kind of on the outs, and then she was actually the one who had the darksaber and gave it to Bo-Katan.
Because I feel like I've heard her name a bunch of times before.
So she was the one who, and her mom kind of ran. She comes from a long line of Mandalorians, but
I thought you can't just give the darksaber to somebody.
Can't.
Oh,
that was the whole thing behind it. That's where Bo-Katan was talking about. She was like, someone gave it to her in the past. And
okay, so I guess that wasn't confusing to me then, but I didn't have all the tea that you have. Yeah,
you were aware of it. You just didn't know where it came from.
Yeah, I was like, oh, somebody can't do that, and somebody did.
That's right. So that's where it's gonna. That comes out in August. Have you been watching Secret Invasion?
Only first 2 episodes.
Same.
Do you
know? Fell off.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. And it's not because I like the first 2 episodes. I just didn't have any desire to go back.
Not in the mood.
That's what it was.
I'm not in the mood for it. I will.
But I'm in the mood for The Bear. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So season 1 of The Bear, I waited a long time to watch it, and then I finally got to it because it wasn't even you that told me about it at first. It was not at first.
Oh,
not at first.
Off,
it wasn't.
Sir.
It wasn't. It was actually Ellis.
I told Ellis about it.
Was it? Maybe it wasn't. Or was it Coy? I can't remember. I think you told me. I mean, you might have told me. I don't remember. I thought someone else told me first. But
play the tape,
which is also possible. Nonetheless, I watched it and loved it when
because I love Jeremy Allen White from Shameless.
Yeah,
so I started watching The Bear when The Bear.
I believe that you probably watched it before anybody else. There's no doubt.
I believe that you didn't listen to me.
Probably also true. But when that show was over, the beauty of waiting so long is I didn't have to wait that long for season 2. So when season 2...
Didn't they not drop it all at once?
The first one,
yeah,
they didn't.
I feel like I watched that week to week.
I wonder if it was a mistake to drop this one.
I think it was not the right call.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it was definitely not the right call.
especially with the quality of the episodes.
I was shocked when it happened, which is why I don't think they did it the first time. When the bear came out that night, I went to click on it, and then I was like, "Fuck! Every episode's here. Okay, let me get to work."
Did that.
Yeah,
I don't know why they did that, but either way,
probably because 6 and 7 are the ones everybody's talking about, and they didn't want to lose people getting there.
I don't know. I mean, I think that this whole I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but like the way that they I was curious because of the way they were kind of doing episodes. I think it was like 3 and 4, and the way that they're focusing on certain things. And I said, interesting that they're doing this way. But then when you see where they're going with it and how they're doing it and the reasoning behind it of why they're doing it, you're like, oh, there's so much impact. And this is how you develop characters, and how you develop characters inside of a 30-minute episode. Although I think episode 6 is like an hour.
Yeah, but is that why they dropped them all at once?
Not sure, but I will tell you that everyone was talking about episode 6. I saw people tweeting about episode 6. I saw everyone talking about 6. And I was like, let's see, because sometimes when people hype shit up, I'm to the point I'm like, it's too hyped now. It delivered times 20.
It's amazing.
It is so good. It is one of the best episodes of television I have seen in years because it's shot like a film. It looks like an independent film. The acting is. I already think the Emmys are a sham after today's, or I guess yesterday's nominations. I know there were people who already got nominated from The Bear. I guess was that for season 1? The people who got nominated for The Bear
Must have been, because this wouldn't have made the cut. Yeah.
So if there's a particular performance in episode 6,
Are you not doing spoilers?
no, not right. I don't think so, because I don't think everybody's seen it.
Okay.
But there's something that happens in the kitchen with the person who's running
Yeah.
the action in the kitchen. We'll
Yeah.
just say that. Which is not a spoiler if it's The Bear. But that performance, if it is not nominated, someone should be arrested.
Yeah, and did you know about that performance at all?
I did. I don't know how I did. I think I did. I saw it through. I don't know where I saw it through. I don't know if it was like a little teaser. I saw something, but I was prepared for when they were announcing that particular character was coming in. Like, I was like, oh, that person must play it, because I had heard. But then there were other people.
I didn't know.
Okay.
And I was like, ooh.
There were other people who
cool.
showed up in that episode as well, though, that I did not know. There was like every.
In episode 7, there was a big person that I
Yes,
had no idea was
yes.
going to be in it either.
Yes, and so you and Ellis both said to me, you think 6 is good. Wait till 7. 7 is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But then what you said clarified it. But 6 is a better overall episode. You said,
For sure.
I think accurately, 7 just made you feel good.
I just like 7 the best of the season.
I can understand
6
that.
is definitely the best episode of the show, period, so far.
You know, Sopranos, one of the most famous episodes in The Sopranos was an episode called Pine Barrens.
I've seen all the Sopranos. What's
Pine Barrens is the one with...
where's your thing?
It's right there.
Okay.
Pine Barrens is the one where Paulie and Christopher are in the woods.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's one of the most famous episodes.
Yeah.
I think, and it's people say, what is your favorite episode of Sopranos? And 9 out of 10 times people will say Pine Barrens. I think this is on par with Pine Barrens. I really
Wow.
do. It is.
That's a great episode of TV.
Yeah.
I hear you, though. It's amazing. I just think that oftentimes after one of the great episodes, the next episode is kind of lackluster.
I couldn't agree more.
So this was the perfect 1-2 punch.
And it's funny that when you guys said that, and even though I remember what I said to myself was, it's not as good as 6, but it's fantastic. And I wish, and I immediately went to Star Wars, and I'm like, every time there's an amazing episode, the next one's just like okay. Or sometimes the episode right before the finale is always better than the finale.
Yeah, the penultimate rocks and the finale is like,
right. And it's like more 1-2 punches like this, because this was like, and it actually, and I'm on 8 right now, and because there's a particular scene that happens in 8 that has so much more impact because of how monumental 7 is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
character
about?
development in 7
Yeah.
is amazing too, because if we didn't have 7, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, the moment that I'm
Yeah.
talking about in particular, and the show got nominated for best comedy. And just comedic moments, but this is a drama.
Well, actually, I
Especially
wonder if
6.
this is for the second season, Kristian, because it was nominated last year in comedy.
Oh,
So that would mean
if you watch episode 6? I mean, I guess there are comedic moments in 6 for
let's
sure.
see what the episodes
but
that are
it's
nominated.
a drama, man.
I just don't believe that
He
the
was
Bear is a
nominated.
comedy.
Cousin was nominated.
Evan Moss.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's fantastic.
I think he is just so.
He almost like kind of overshadowed everybody in this season.
Yeah,
season
he's
2.
so good.
I love what they
Jeremy
did.
Allen White's great too.
Love what he is. Everybody in the show is great. I love what they did with his character in this season because I thought he had the possibility of becoming one note, and he is the farthest thing from it now.
So I'm looking at the things that The Bear was nominated for best directing for a comedy series. So is it per episode, or how does that work?
Not
Christopher Storr.
I think he did all of them though.
Yeah, I think so too. So that wouldn't tell me what this is going to best. Let's see, writing. The Bear, he got nominated in general too.
Doesn't really say episodes. Does
No.
it? Yeah, I don't know, but I was speaking of sticking with the Emmys. All the things that came out today, they were missing so many different things. Like they nominated Andor, but they didn't nominate Diego Luna.
Okay, but be fair for a second.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to press you to do actual numbers.
Sure.
How many of these shows have you seen? So
Tell me.
for best drama series, Andor.
This is what I did to Mike yesterday, by the way, too.
Really?
I said you can't say anything you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Andor,
Sorry.
Better Call Saul.
I mean, I've seen.
Not this season.
Yeah,
The Crown.
I've seen a lot of The Crown, but
Not this season.
Not this season.
House of the Dragon.
Yes.
Last of Us.
Yes.
Succession.
No.
White Lotus.
No.
Yellow Jackets.
A lot of it. No, it's
Not
not
this
true.
season.
First season and not a lot
Not
of it.
this
3 episodes.
and not the season. So you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've seen 3 of 8.
Yeah,
So
out
it's
of
hard-
dramas. So
right.
give me comedies.
Okay, I'll give you comedies. But
Probably saw less.
It's hard for you, I'm sure, to know. So okay, out of comedies, Abbott Elementary.
I've seen it. Don't
Not
love
this
it.
season.
Yeah, no, but everybody raves about that show.
But you didn't see this season.
You actually told me. You told me I need to go past 3 episodes, right? 'Cause
Yeah, I
I
think
thought it was
so.
so generic.
Barry.
First season.
Not this season. The Bear.
Yes.
Jury Duty.
No.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
First season.
Not this season. Only Murders in the Building.
First season.
Not this season. Ted Lasso.
3 episodes.
Not this season. Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. So you've had 2 of those.
Right.
So I think it's challenging.
Right.
I don't disagree with your assessment of Harrison Ford.
Well, what about? So give me this then. Give me. He would be nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a comedy series. Who got nominated Best Supporting Actor in a comedy series?
Okay.
And let's
Best
see.
supporting actor in a comedy series. Anthony Kerrigan and Barry.
That's the
Yeah, you think he's hysterical.
I think-
NoHo Hank. Or whatever.
he's good.
Phil Dunster and Ted Lasso. Brett Goldstein and Ted Lasso. James Marsden in Jury Duty. Evan Moss in The Bear. Tyler James Williams in Abbott Elementary. And Henry Winkler in Barry.
I would have again. I haven't seen all of them too, but for me, even Marsden, which I know you love Marsden in it. Do you think Marsden?
I think he should win this probably.
Really?
He in Jury Duty. I
Okay.
think
I didn't-
what he had to do there. I mean, it was.
So you've seen Barry and you've seen all the seasons. Everyone talks about how Barry isn't the best one out of all of it, and Henry Winkler and the other
Anthony Kerrigan.
Anthony Kerrigan have both been nominated. Do you think that they were better than Harrison Ford this year?
In Shrinking.
In Shrinking.
I think that here's what I'm having a hard time with the comedy category. Barry was not a comedy this year.
That's what I heard. yeah.
Period.
Right.
So it's so hard to compare. Do I think they were better actors than he was? I think equal. But do I think that Harrison Ford was funnier? Definitely.
Right.
So it's like
It's a comedy series.
I'm not, and that's what I said. I agree with you on Harrison Ford. I agree with you
Yeah.
there. But I don't think that these are trash nominations.
I don't think trash nominations, but I just think the fact that Harrison Ford was not nominated was silly, and he wasn't nominated for 1923 either.
I think the lack of love for
Tyler Sheridan's stuff.
it is egregious. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that the best performance every year on TV for the last 5 years has been Kelly Riley.
Yeah.
She
What is that? Do you think they just have something against him?
I really do.
Yeah.
Because Yellowstone, you can't argue that Yellowstone, it's like the Succession of the middle of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most watched show, the
Right.
most loved
Yeah.
show. It's prestige drama. For it to get shut out every
what
year
is
where the
that?
show's not nominated, Costner's not nominated, she's not nominated, every year this show gets shut out, it's like, what the
That
what?
is something.
Yeah, there's something there because
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it makes
crazy.
no sense. And she is like hands down. Not only should she be nominated, she should be a 5-time winner.
But I think the other thing though too is that and then you look at like Andor was nominated, right? But like, so who are the drama actors that were nominated?
Okay, let's see.
Because the fact that Andor was nominated but Diego Luna was not.
Jeff Bridges and The Old Man,
He was
which I
great.
didn't know was eligible for this.
So he was great in that. Now, I love that series. And I think he's great in it. It's not a full thing because unfortunately he was, that's when he was diagnosed.
Right.
And he's, thank God, since beaten it. But it was an abrupt show because they had to finish it.
His performance was great.
It was good, but like I'm on a full series that was able to have a start to finish with a full performance that was a start to finish. I would put Diego Luna over Bridges, and I loved Bridges in that show.
All three people from Succession: Kieran Culkin, Brian Cox, Jeremy Strong. So it's hard for you to say. Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us. I definitely give it to him over Diego.
Yeah, I would too.
And then Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul.
Which you got to give him, even if his performance was terrible, which it wasn't, I'm sure. But
and that's it.
Yeah, I would take out Bridges. I love Bridges.
I wouldn't, but I see what you're saying.
I love Bridges. Oh, I loved The Old Man. That's one of my. I told you, that was one of my favorite shows last year. It just ends. The show just ends. Like not like no ending. It's just like it ends like a regular episode.
I just can't believe I'm looking at this list of best actress in drama series, and it like the fact that Kelly Riley is not on here
is nuts, right?
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's just incredible. Melanie Linsky nominated for 2 Emmys.
Yellow Jackets and Last of Us.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I've seen from what I've seen in Yellow Jackets. I think she's incredible, and I liked her in Last of Us, but I don't think that was an Emmy performance.
You know what's wild? She is amazing in Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
She's really amazing. But this season of the people in Yellow Jackets, she wouldn't have gotten my nom.
Yeah, see, I saw her from season 1, but I think she's an incredible actress. I don't think that her performance in Last of Us is an Emmy-nominated performance.
I think a lot of this is politics. She's so liked because in Yellow Jackets, it's really not her season as much. Like I'm looking at some of the.
What was she nominated for? She was nominated for what category for Last of Us, Best Supporting Actress?
Let me look. I just saw it in an article. Probably like guests.
Has to be.
Let's see. I'll let you know when I get to it. But
they should have like a sci-fi fantasy category also. They really should.
Oh, wow. Juliette Lewis nominated for Welcome to Chippendales. A lot of love for Welcome to Chippendales. Did you see it? Why am I having a hard time saying Chippendales? I want to call it Chickendales.
You told me that Sadie started watching that and liked it.
Yeah, it was very good.
It's interesting. I'll tell you what's very good, Rox.
What?
Have you heard of Rocket Money?
No, what's Rocket Money?
So Rocket Money, I think you need this. I'm not even kidding you. And I want you to try it because I think you're going to need it. So especially for everything you do on TV and stuff. So Rocket Money is on your phone. It's an app, and it used to be called Truebill. And so what you do is you put in stuff that whether it's all your subscriptions and things. So let's say there's something you subscribe to, like even one of those apps that you tried one time and you try it for free for 30 days, and then you get charged and you forget you're getting charged. It tells you all the subscriptions that you're paying for. It just happened
to me with this flower app that I wanted to diagnose my plants, and then I ended up paying for it for 6 months and never used it.
Right. And that's so
devastating.
They tell you, hey, you're subscribed to this. Push the button from our app. We'll cancel it for you. And they cancel all your subscriptions that you don't want to do. They save you money that way. But they also tell you through like your banking and stuff like there was a transaction that went through, you paid a bill, your check went through, or it didn't, or this was this authorized, and it gives you, and it's just a total way to keep up with all your finances. I've been using it for a while. Like, see you later, water bottle. But Rocket Money, and it's so good, and I've used it for a bit, and they came like, hey, do you want Rocket Money as a sponsor? I'm showing you. Sorry, they can't see it, but it just But anyway, it just gives you all this stuff. It tells you which charges. It tells you it tells you all these different things.
That's great.
The breakdown. It gives you your credit. Everything.
Good credit.
Thank you. So go and check it out. You just go to rocketmoney.com/thing and sign up for it. You're gonna say how awesome it is. I'm telling everybody. I'm getting this one. I know that I'm gonna get particularly annoying with. Because I'm telling everyone, especially the audience, to sign up for it because
You're trying to save them money.
It was so easy for me to say yes. They're like, hey, do you want this? They want to sponsor the show. Yes, I use them all the time. Very easy for me to talk about. So seriously, try it out because I want to get your thoughts on it. Rocketmoney.com/thing. Check it out today. Okay. What else? The Oppenheimer reactions came out. Did you see that?
I saw that people are saying it's like his best.
They're losing their minds.
Yeah, they're losing their minds.
It's like 3 hours, they say, but it's so epic. It's like Scorsese 3-hour type thing.
You have me doing IMAX, which is what we're doing, right?
Shot in IMAX cameras.
Yeah, so we're doing IMAX. I don't know what's the difference between IMAX and 70.
I forget the full. I'm not gonna. I've never done this before, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call Bibbiani.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna call Bibbiani.
What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna talk to him about he's gonna tell us the difference.
Okay.
He'll do it. So I'm gonna
don't bring up the soap.
He'll bring up the soap. But let's. I'm gonna bring him up. Let's see if he actually picks up. Tell him he's on the air.
I hope so, because I want to know.
Yeah.
So we got the option for the screening, which we wanted to see, and I texted you.
Hey, Kristian, what's up?
Hey, William. I'm on the air at the moment. I just wanted to preface that before I don't want you to be like, oh, you were on the air and I didn't know what you were bringing up. We started talking about. I'm with Roxy.
Hi.
Hi, Roxy.
And we started talking about Oppenheimer, and we started talking about the difference between IMAX and 70. And I started to get into the description. I was like, who would be much better at explaining this is William. So. Roxy, go ahead. Ask him.
I just asked because for Oppenheimer, we got the option. Do you want to watch it in IMAX or 70 millimeter? Is that what
it's millimeter? Yeah,
millimeter. Okay, 70 millimeter. And I texted Kristian like, which do I want to watch it in? Because I know nothing about these things.
And it's shot with IMAX cameras. But
so what's the difference? And is it the same answer for every movie?
It's actually a little complicated, so I'll try to be as simple about it as I can. The IMAX format started out as, I believe, a 70 millimeter format, or at the very least a high-end format that was shot on film, and it was shot in a very particular way with very specific cameras that gave a very immersive, gigantic look to every movie. It was often used in documentaries, and then gradually started being used in films. However, the IMAX name no longer guarantees that you're seeing something that was actually shot in IMAX. In fact, a very common insult thrown at very IMAX theaters you might find at various AMCs or other major chains is calling it Limax, because just showing a movie on a really big screen doesn't actually mean it was actually projected or shot in 70 millimeter or anything comparable. So if my advice to you is this: if you can find it in 70 millimeter and they're actually advertising that it's in 70 millimeter, see it in 70 millimeter. You will see the best version of it. If you see it in IMAX, I without doing more research, I can't guarantee that you will.
See, I think William's 100% accurate, except for the difference with Nolan. Oppenheimer, though, Nolan has been talking about shooting it on IMAX cameras, and they're doing it.
That's true, but that doesn't necessarily mean every movie theater is going to be going to have the equipment necessary to show it that way.
That's right. That's right. The
one
IMAX
theaters are alive.
Yes, the one that we're seeing at Universal is shot is equipped for IMAX, and that's why they're having it there. But you're 100% right. Like there's one in Century City that's not really.
So 70 millimeter is what then? If it's not an IMAX, what is it? It's just a regular screen.
Well, it's a big movie screen. The problem is that it used to be that IMAX theaters had a very specific standard of quality. The screen was exactly this way, exactly this size. The film would only be projected this one particular way, this one particular camera, and the films had to be shot that way. And then it started getting kind of farmed out as a brand, and that brand got really diluted.
Right, but you told me that IMAX is shot in 70 millimeter.
IMAX used to be shot in 70 millimeter. Now there's no guarantee of it. If you're in an IMAX theater, that doesn't mean you're watching a film that was shot in IMAX.
Okay, but I'm just talking about Oppenheimer.
Nor does it necessarily mean that a movie that was shot in IMAX is being shown the best possible way, unless you're at.
Wait, I totally hear you on that, Bibbs. But
what was that?
I totally hear you on that, but I'm just confused on specifically for Oppenheimer, which we know is shot in 70 millimeter. What is the difference between IMAX and 70 millimeter?
For the one, so I guess are you going on Tuesday? Yeah, I know what you're saying. Are you going on Tuesday, Bibbs?
That's the plan, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they gave you the option of either seeing.
I went to see 70 millimeter.
So you went to 70 millimeter
because I know for a fact that that's going to be in 70 millimeter.
Got it.
I could do more research, and I could say with absolute confidence, that IMAX one's going to be great, maybe even better. I don't know, but at least I know this is going to be shot 70 millimeter.
So you took a gamble.
So if you're uncertain, try to find 70 millimeter is my best recommendation. Right. You'll see an impressive version of the film, provided, of course, the movie theater that you're seeing it at actually has a projectionist who knows what they're doing, which is no guarantee.
Right.
I have seen bad 70 millimeter screenings of both The Hateful Eight and Dunkirk from movie theaters that didn't know how to handle film prints anymore.
Well, what do you think?
There's always a danger.
What do you think? So right now, the first impressions out of the premiere was that this is like one of Nolan's best. Are you expecting? You have high expectations for this one? Are you waiting to see? No, you don't.
No, I try not to have any expectations. I think expectations ruin a movie because you start planning to see a movie that you have an idea of in your head, and you're not necessarily open to whatever the movie actually is. We have seen time and time again, very recently, reactions or even early reviews coming out of screenings of, I don't know, films like The Flash, for example, where they're very hyperbolic. Everyone's very happy. Everyone's very high on it because that's the premiere. It's the big screening. The energy is really high. The audience is super into it. But that's not the experience everyone is going to have. So for me, I don't pay any attention to that whatsoever. In fact, I look upon all those early reactions with extreme skepticism because the reason why those are getting such big headlines, people make such a big deal out of them, is because they're trying to promote a movie. The people who are getting those quotes out there, they want people to see the movie, whether or not it's any good.
Right.
You're
not saying that's not.
Christopher Nolan, the dude is consistent.
Yeah.
The dude, I don't like every movie he's ever made, but he's very consistent. He makes impressive films. I will see it. I hope for the best. I hope it's one of the better Christopher Nolan films, but we won't know until we see it.
All right, we'll find out Bibbs' thoughts on Tuesday, as I'm sure he'll be tweeting. Make sure you follow him. It's at William Bibbiani, correct?
Yeah,
right.
And I'm also on Blue Sky as well if anyone's there.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you, William. It was good talking to you.
Thanks for calling. Bye.
Right, bye. So, do you have a clear understanding still?
No.
I didn't think so.
What's the IMAX one? What are the?
I know what he was talking about.
Yeah, I get what he was saying, but for this, if it's not in 70 millimeter, what is IMAX? Is the IMAX in?
Well, I do think because what Nolan is saying, and what they said, they shot it on these cameras, and they shot and for where we're seeing it, that's why I chose IMAX, because we're going to see it in the way that it's intended, and it's intended on these big IMAX screenings, and it's and it's shot like so. William's not wrong that there are.
What screen is he seeing it
He's
on?
seeing it in the 70 millimeter.
Which is what?
Which is just, I think it's basically shot on the same type of cameras, but the way that it's like, if it's projected on these screens the right way through.
It's less big though?
I think it's around the same. I don't freaking know. But I think the IMAX is set up for bigger.
Sure.
Either way.
I'm just not going to pretend I know.
We're seeing it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
He and I have always not seen eye to eye when it comes to. I understand his point of the expectation side of it. I always think you need to have expectations of a movie. I think that it's fun to have expectations of a movie. I think that he's not wrong if you allow your expectations to devalue your thought because that's the way you wanted the movie. Then I think he's right. But I think that you can have expectations and go, well, I would have loved if it would have went that particular way. I thought I was going to see that, but I actually really like their choices. And I thought the choices that they did make were even better than what I was expecting. So I always push back against the don't have expectations of a movie too, because without expectations.
Well, you're a human being.
Yeah, I want to see, and I want to see, I do have expectations because I also have expectations because I think Nolan is a fantastic director.
Yeah.
And so I have high expectations the same way I do for a Tarantino movie or a Catherine Bigelow movie or any of these types of movies. I always have expectations.
Yeah.
What am I expecting from this movie? I don't have a lot of I want it to look like this and I want that. I know I'm getting good performances. I know it's going to look incredible on the screen. I know the music's going to be next level. And I think I'll get all that.
It would be nice because you didn't love Tenet?
I thought Tenet was okay.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to, and obviously I know partially the story of Oppenheimer. It'd be nice to walk out feeling like it was a well-told story.
Yeah, I think we'll get that.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get that. And I think there were two more.
What's up with you keep going to Mike?
Because this stupid way that the Stream Deck is set up, I keep
You missing
Mike
or something?
No, I'm hitting the wrong. No, not after his performance yesterday. But what's the other thing? There was the two. Oh, the two other trailers that came out were real biopics, I guess. But there was Napoleon, which is coming out. Did you see the
Nope.
Joaquin Phoenix,
Cool.
Ridley Scott?
Isn't Napoleon supposed to be really short?
So here's the thing. That's what I said. So people, and I loved. This is one of the few times that I really want. I'll give major credit to. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to give credit to the internet. That one is something I don't do, but what I do often say is our viewers and our listeners presented in a way that was super respectful. And they're like, I said the same thing. I said the only thing is that he's a little shorter. Two things. One, the average height for back then for French was like around 5'6", 5'7". He was 5'6", right? Joaquin Phoenix, how tall do you think Joaquin Phoenix is?
5'11".
I thought 5'11", 6 feet. He's 5'8".
Huh.
It's only about 2 inches short or taller than what Napoleon was. So I had less of a problem. I didn't really
How
have
tall
much.
are you?
Well, about a little over 6 feet.
How tall do you think I am?
5'3".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk. So, but I would say that my initial, I didn't really have a major problem with it in general,
Yeah,
but
no,
I was
I
like,
just-
that's what everyone's going to say.
Yeah.
And then when people pointed it out, 5'6" was kind of an average height for a French dude back then. And
Was it though? Then why is it the whole thing is like he had a complex?
Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't fighting just French dudes. And so, comparatively.
Why
if it
are we
was
getting
something-
taller?
I don't know. But listen, I'm not
What's
French.
the average height for a French dude now?
You got to ask them. Call them up.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah. But, and
I
either,
don't know any French dudes to call. Otherwise, I probably would.
but
wouldn't
the
be
movie looks good,
single.
by the way. It's Ridley Scott.
I like him.
Looks good. And then the other one was the Bob Marley. You see the Bob Marley trailer?
No,
You as a music fan, I can't believe you didn't watch it.
I haven't. I've just been in the world.
It was a different world.
Yeah.
But it's that same dude from Secret Invasion. What's his name? Kingsley Ben-Adir.
Oh, okay.
He's awesome.
Really?
He played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami.
Average French man is currently 5 feet 10.76 inches tall.
So they grew.
That's tall.
Yeah. It's 10.
Why have Frenchmen been?
I don't know. Maybe that's not a true fact. What people were telling me, I have no idea. But either way, what I will say is the fact is, Joaquin Phoenix is 5'8".
Yeah.
So 5'6", 5'8".
Yeah.
Whatevs.
Yeah. What? Yes, Christian. What?
Whatevs.
Honestly, what else?
That's what my 5.5-year-old says.
Really?
Whatevs. It's hilarious.
Where'd you get it?
I don't know. I don't know where she got half this stuff. Huh. It's hilarious. I told you one time when she was like 3, she said, I'm the master. I'm like, the master of what? She was the master of the gods.
Oh.
She's 3 years old. I said, okay, the master of the gods.
What else?
Whatevs. What else do we need to talk about? Oppenheimer. We talked about Ahsoka. We talked about the Emmys. Blue Beetle. Did you watch that? You didn't watch that either. You watched shit.
That's coming out soon.
It's coming out in
Yeah, I
August.
haven't been watching any trailers.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're stoked on this, and that's your boy.
So I will say that I'm stoked on it because it's Sholo. What my compliment of the trailer was that it cost $120 million and the CGI for what they used looked good as opposed to it looks like and I like the Flash. I like the Flash and I thought that some of the CGI was laughable in it.
And apparently on purpose.
And apparently, I don't like that excuse. But $120 million and it's used well. What the negative side of what I saw in the trailer yesterday was it looks like a movie I've seen before. And I really didn't like the kind of Spy Kids bit at the end where the grandmother has like this gun and she's shooting it. It's like it felt corny to me.
Okay.
But I think he looks great. I think the positive side of it is I think that the family aspect and dynamic, if they hit it well, is going to be the thing. You know how the first Shazam?
That's what I was just thinking about when
Yeah.
you said that.
The first Shazam was all you talked about was it wasn't. You don't remember like there was one like scary kind of boardroom scene, but the most part, what you think about that movie is that dynamic with the foster family and how it worked and how you believed it and like that thing. I think if they hit that, that's what people are going to talk about in this movie.
I'm going to see it no
Yeah,
matter
Me too.
if I get invited.
If we get invited, we'll say good luck to you. Is that everything as far as news, and then we can get into some TV stuff?
Barbie.
Oh yeah.
Barbie,
So you can't. Well, there's a review. There's embargo. There's an embargo.
When is it?
There's a review embargo that is. I think Tuesday is when the review embargo drops, but the social reaction.
When are you seeing it?
I'm seeing it on Monday.
Same.
You've seen it already.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we'll talk about it on Wednesday.
So the social. Well, you can do social reaction. The social reaction that I saw a few. I saw a few that didn't like it. And then I saw Perry's. Yeah, and
I have so much love for Perry, but
you guys are never on the same page.
I wrote back to her on Twitter and was just like, just another movie that you and I are on complete opposite ends of the spectrum about. And you know what? In my initial review that I was doing on this, and then I am not going to say this, but like, I almost want to say so many people I saw didn't like it on social media. And without whatever, this is my favorite movie of the year by far. I mean, now.
So
Elemental
that's what Kalinowski said. Kalinowski said Roxy has 5 favorite movies of the year.
No, I don't.
You said
Across
the Spider-Verse.
No, I never said that. I said Air.
You never said that.
There's been 3 movies that have been my favorite. My favorite of the year that I had seen so far. Air, and then I saw Elemental.
Okay.
And it was Elemental. And then I saw Barbie, and it's Barbie. You don't change your favorite. You don't.
That's fair. I'm just saying.
It's not like now it's Elemental.
It's just been replaced.
Yeah, I replaced them.
Right.
Now Air is my 3rd favorite movie of the year, and Elemental is my 2nd favorite movie of the year. That's how I make my lists. That's how I do my TV list. That's how I do my movie list. So
Barbie hit you had expectations for the movie.
Yeah, and like,
it delivered for you.
And this is okay. The few things that I will say is that like, if it doesn't deliver for me, it delivers for no one. Right? Like I should be the target audience on this. I should be, because it is more mature.
It's like me not liking Creed 1.
Right. Like that would be a big problem.
Right.
So I'm glad that I loved it, but also this takes a huge swing, and I'm kind of surprised Perry didn't like it, because what I wanted to say in my review was, if you don't like it, it went over your head.
Interesting.
And that is so not how I feel about Perry. Perry is a very like nuanced watcher,
right.
But to me,
that's a very Bibbs tweet.
Yeah,
that's a very Bibbs.
I know, and
tweet.
I didn't say it, but that's how I feel. Yeah. Like, because there's parts of it. I messaged this to you. I think that you are gonna really like a lot of it, and some of it, I think you're gonna be like, it's not what I was hoping they would do there.
Right. I mean, look, again, there's only so much you can say, but like so I see it on Monday, then we see Oppenheimer on Tuesday. I will have both
1-2 punch.
Yeah, it'll be 1-2, and I will have that both out of the theater reactions up on Monday and Tuesday, with some reviews to follow, and then we'll be going to Comic-Con, which will be interesting. Remember, if you didn't, Katie's live show is all sold out, so you can watch her live stream, which we'll be doing on Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m., and you can check out that by going to blah-blah-blah-katie.com. Have you watched the podcast yet, Rox?
Yeah, I checked at the
Rice?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Really interesting.
Good.
I'm like, Katie's so endearing. And
good.
It was like very fun for me to watch and bizarre, because I like look over at the set.
You see the set, yeah. But it was great, wasn't it? She's
Yeah.
really good at it. And so we just put episode 3 up now. Episode 4, we announced episode 4, Glenn Howerton.
I'm just stoked on that.
Which is awesome.
Which I'll definitely check out.
We talked about It's Always Sunny. We talk about...
I watched a bit of the first one, too, with the 2 of you guys.
Okay, yeah.
Which was exciting,
third one
too.
was... So the way that we're doing it is like every other episode is her and I. And then
Yeah,
every other
I'm seeing
episode
that.
is a guest.
Question that maybe I should ask you off camera,
Sure.
but I'm going to ask you on camera anyway. How come you're not sitting in on some of the interviews? It's just like because of the 2 seats and just the way that it goes?
Not what I want to do.
Just not helpful
no,
for the show?
and Katie and I talked about it. It's like it should be a straight up one-on-one conversation with her and the guest, and and that's why I have my show for that too. My purpose on the show is A, to produce it, and B, to recap the episodes with her afterwards and talk to her about how she's feeling about it, and kind of watching her progress as a podcast conversationalist more so than an interviewer. Yeah, it's not. I mean, if
cool. It's a cool format.
Yeah, I'm here. Like if she needs me for facts and stuff too. Like there's a great moment with Glenn Howerton that's really funny that Brett and I both kind of chimed in to kind of have Katie's back on in a most endearing, fun way. Glenn's awesome. Glenn's
great.
Awesome, and it's.
What does she know him from? Life?
So I think they live in the same neighborhood, I think, but I also think that they met at like a game. No, they met at Sam Witwer's place.
Oh.
Yeah. So I let that information kind of come out when the episode drops. But that's next week. That's Glenn Howerton on Katie's show. All right. So Roxy, you got some TV for me?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm only focusing on 2 picks this week because these are the 2 that you guys have been jamming down my throats, and I'm so glad that you did. That's what she said.
Well, I was going to bring up The Neighbor.
All right, the first one is Platonic. Platonic is that show with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne.
Oh, yes. Sadie's watching this.
I have been hearing everybody say is one of the best, and it actually had its series finale this week. So you're not too far behind if you want to binge it all. I binged it all in a day because it's really endearing. It's super funny. They're just great. The show's great. It's a nice, easy watch. And I think it's an ode to anybody who's ever had a best friend of the opposite gender, which is like not talked about on TV very often. I'm so happy, and this is no spoilers, but the show's called Platonic, and it's true to its name.
Yeah.
It's like these are two besties that are platonic besties, and they happen to be one guy, one girl, and they both have their own love lives and lives in general. And like when they're together, it's hysterical and debaucherous and fun, but it's not like a line crossing show. Right. And I think that
yet.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. All right.
I don't think they're going to do that because I just think it defeats the purpose of the show.
Got it.
Which is like,
there's buddies.
This is my homie.
Right.
And I'm allowed to have a homie like this. And
right.
I just love it. I think they did it so perfectly, but they're also realistic about it. Like, how does your husband feel about that being your homie? And like, what questions are you allowed to ask or boundaries are you allowed to set?
Right.
But also all of this under the umbrella of it's comedy.
Right.
And it's funny and raunchy and really well done. I can't think of a thing that Seth Rogen does that I don't like.
Okay.
I mean, he's just really good. So this was on there. And then the other one that I am halfway through binging.
What's that on, by the way?
It's also Apple.
Okay.
So Apple's just been killing it. I say also because the one I'm about to talk about is on.
And I'm going to bring up an Apple one after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Do I know what it is?
I think so.
Okay. This next one is Silo. You guys have been telling me Silo is one of the best shows of the year. I put out my top 10 list of the year for the first half, and I hadn't seen Silo yet. Now that I have it, probably.
Silo's awesome?
Yeah, I'm only a few episodes. I'm only 4 episodes in.
Everyone's talking about that, yeah.
It's so up your alley, Kristian.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, damn. The first episode had me hooked. The first episode, I was like, ooh. But then they do something in the first episode that you're like, oh, am I going to be interested in the rest of the season? Because what's happening in the first episode is it's a different jam than what's the rest of the show. So I just will say be prepared for that. Maybe don't fall in love with any of your characters or plots or whatever, because we really flip it on its head. But it's a great premise. They're living in this silo that is 144 stories high, and there's different like classes and categorizations and jobs, and it is sci-fi, it is crime, it is thriller.
Rebecca Ferguson.
It's my girl Rebecca Ferguson, who is just bomb.com. I don't think she was even in the first episode though. But
wow.
So yeah, it's like it's a different. The first episode is a different story.
Okay.
She's so good in this though.
Okay.
Because she's that perfect balance of endearing and killer.
Yeah.
She's just this is her at her finest. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I can't wait. Next week I'll report back. I'll have finished it, and I'll let you
Okay.
guys know how I feel the end of the first season is.
The one for me is Hijack.
Okay, I haven't started this.
You love it.
Everybody's talking about it. This is Idris, right?
Yes. Awesome. It's really good. And again, what I love about it, and I don't know if Silo did the same thing, but this certainly did. It's week to week. It's not a whole drop at the same time.
Yeah, Silo's just all out now, but yes, they did do week to week.
They did week to week.
Like Platonic did.
Which is what they should do. And it continue to do. And I think it's the reason why people are talking about them in general. This is a really good it's different. It's not, I thought it was going to just be him like John McClane on a plane just kicking people's asses. It's not that. And it's
What is it?
So it's about these particular hijackers who take over the plane, and Idris Elba is kind of like a negotiator type guy, but he's trying to figure out how and what's going on and how to maneuver the hijackers kind of against each other, but she'll still try to like communicate with the rest of the plane and then communicate with the ground to let them know that it's being hijacked. And there's like a ton of different moving parts with stuff it's not just on the plane. There's stuff. It's them trying to. I think it's only like 3 or 4 episodes in right now, so they're trying to figure out. Like the people on the ground have figured out something's going on up there, but at first they're like, I don't know, because the pilot says it was just a joke, or not a joke. There was just that there was miscommunication, and nothing really happened. So it's again, how do they communicate with the ground, because they turn the Wi-Fi off, like all these different things. So it's really good. Sadie and I, the last one was was great. There's one more that's on right now. The new one I haven't seen yet, so I'm ready.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not all out.
No. It's like episode 3 or 4.
So, okay, so I can catch up quick.
Easily.
Great.
It's and it just is great.
Wow, Apple's really doing
Killing it.
Really doing it.
Because they have, you know what it is about Apple? You can find their stuff.
Yeah,
and it's not
on
like
my
too many.
phone too.
Yeah.
Like I watched a lot of Platonic. I'm not watching Silo on my phone because it's too big, but a lot of Platonic I watched like on the go, cooking something,
That's it.
like in the car 5 minutes
Right.
early or whatever. And I love that you can access their shit.
Yeah, it's the same. So, and
it's not like a huge library.
No, it's all accessible, and they promote their stuff well. I think Apple has maybe for the amount of the quality stuff that they have and what I think they have the best stuff. Like, as far
it
as
might be.
when it comes to how they do it. Like again, shrinking.
I know.
I mean, it's like
Severance.
Severance was Severance. Yeah, I'm thinking of
Severance is Apple, right?
100%. I was thinking of what's the one?
Succession.
Succession. Yes, Severance. When's
Yeah.
that coming back?
I don't think this strike is helping.
Right.
From what I'm hearing, the strike is going to prohibit any of the actors from doing any promo. So everything's.
I read it. I read the thing when it came in because I'm sick. So when and it was basically you can't, like, I can promote the Katie's podcast, right? I can promote, we can talk about that, but like inside of Katie's podcast, she can't start talking about the next season of Mandalorian. She can start talking about like anything that she's
doing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's tough, but there's no strike.
Unless there's no. Well,
Right.
by the time you're watching this, there either is or isn't. You're in the future. You know.
Right.
Blech.
Anyway, listen.
Yeah,
We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So make sure you comment, please. As I mentioned before, and not only do I guarantee you that you're going to be happy if you use Rocket Money, but you help out the show. And people are always asking how to help us. And then people, I listen to you guys all the time. And someone said, we want you guys to be like the #1 movie show in this space. It'll help us out. Continue. We're growing our audience. It's because of you guys. And it's because we're able to get sponsors. We're able to continue to do this stuff. But if we want the sponsors to come back, you got to get them. It's like conversion is what I think people don't realize what it is. It's like, you got to sponsor. It's like, but we want them to come back. And we only want to get people that we think will come back because we know people will want them. So trust me on Rocket Money. You're going to thank me for it. Thank you to Roxy. Check out Roxy on the World Girls everywhere. Roxy Stryer. See? And that's it. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.